Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Premier League with FPL Wizard. I hope you're all fine. I hope you're having a great FPL season and I hope you're keeping in the best of health. And today is a very important stream, especially for those on a wildcard. So without much further ado, I just like to talk about my last week's performance. Before I wildcard. Last week I brought in Semicas naturally. When we knew that Robertson was injured, it was the best ploy to kind of just get a cheap 4.3 million defender that is available from Liverpool. So I got him in because I knew I was going to wildcard. So I thought, why not to build some value on the team, because the value is absolutely in the doldrums right now. And obviously I started Udogie. I did not own Pedro Porro, which was just horrible watching him get subbed at 55 minutes. It is a bit indicative of how the season has gone in general for me, and that I had to I had Udogie and not a Pedro Porro, but it's fine. I mean, I'm not gonna complain too much about that. Obviously, Aston Villa lost their clean sheet to Jared Bowen kind of shot come like a Pau Torres deflection. Udogie got subbed off early. Turner lost a late clean sheet. Other than that, my midfield was on did really well. Not on fire. I don't want to say on fire, because in general my overall rank is like 3.5 million. So when you're on such a rank, it doesn't lend to a fire kind of kind of statement. So Saka, Madison, Son, Bruno Fernandes, Luis Diaz. I mean, none of them did like firecracker stuff, but it was all right. Son was good. I brought in Luis Diaz hoping that he would do better than just 6 points against Everton, and he would have, but missed a couple of good chances. Haaland was my captain. Obviously, unfortunately, didn't own Salah, and Salah scored a late penalty to give him the edge over Haaland again. Alvarez was really good again, with a 9-pointer. So overall, it was 76 points, taking my rank from below 4 million to 3.5 million. Nothing to talk home about. So on we march towards the wildcard, guys. So welcome to the stream, everyone. Hey Lightrays, and everybody else who's here, because I don't have any comments, so I don't know who is here. But I'm just gonna quickly move to my wildcard, guys, and I'll just talk to you about the team value and the dilemma which I currently have, and have been mulling about all week, kinda. So this is my wildcard team, and this is kind of where I'm at right now with my team. So you can have a look. Sorry, there you go. So this is where I'm at with my team right now, guys. And so if you kind of see, I've got Turner from obviously my previous team. I did not take him out. He's currently 4.1 million. I didn't sell him, so it's 4 million for me. I brought in Areola as my keeper, and he's gonna be my keeper primarily because of the fixtures for West Ham United. And even if he didn't have really good fixtures, I'm not bothered too much about the going for an expensive keeper, because technically speaking, keeper has a low ceiling, and it doesn't make sense to spend too much when you've got a 4.2 million playing keeper from a decent team like West Ham United. You just go for it, right? So the fixtures are good as well. Everton home, Nottingham Forest home, Palace home, then Burnley, Brentford, Fulham. So I think in the near term, he's got some decent fixtures as well. So Areola and Turner are going to be my keepers. Obviously, I've got Gabriel, from Arsenal. Is the cheapest defender available, who's playing all the games. Although we started the season with him, didn't fare too well. But the injury to Jurriën Timber, just brought him back into the team. And now he's just playing regularly. So I basically brought him in for these fixtures like Sheffield United, Burnley, Wolves, even Luton, Brentford, and after this obviously we'll have to reshuffle, because after game week 17 Newcastle have some good games and Manchester City have a blank, so we gotta reshuffle a little bit. But in general, I think until game week 16 or 17, I think Arsenal have some decent fixtures as well. So That I've got Gabriel, I've got Cash. Matty Cash obviously started the season really well in terms of attacking. In some of the games, you could see that he was playing in midfield, like a winger rather than a right back. But he's, with Diaby coming back, Leon Bailey coming back, I think he's back to his original position, not attacking too much. If you see the past few game weeks, XG and XA, they've kind of dried up a lot, except this one game in which he got an assist, but I still feel that out of the West Ham team, he's the most attacking, so I went with Matty Cash. Since I got him early, I built a bit of team value, 5.1 as well. Now this position is up for grabs again, just like Lascelles and Taylor, they're up for grabs in my wildcard team. And Tsimikas, obviously I brought him in early, so I built some value on him. I brought him in when he was 4.3. Lascelles, obviously I brought him in on my wildcard when I activated my wildcard, so I've got him for 3.9 and he's 4 million. It's not like necessary that I'm gonna keep Lascelles, but the thing is with Botman out for the short term or shorter term, like 11th November, so I might get a couple or maybe 3 game weeks with Lascelles, and I think I'm gonna be fine with that. Although booking in your Newcastle spots is not the best thing, but I don't imagine any time in the season owning 3 Newcastle players. So with that in mind, I possibly can keep Lascelles. This other spot is up for grabs. I would have loved to bring in Harry Maguire or somebody like a good playing player, who we know that is gonna play in day out for a good team, but I'm gonna have to settle for somebody who's less because I don't have team value. And my midfield is the most interesting place in this team because I've got a really good midfield which I wanted. Obviously, I would have loved some replacements if I had enough money, but since I don't, then I'm gonna have to settle for what I can. Right? Salah was a no-brainer, guys. Is in the core of my team. Mitoma, I really wanted, guys, because if you see these fixtures, I really want Mitoma until game week 16, at the very least. Look at this. Fulham, Everton, Sheffield, Nottingham, Brentford, Burnley. This just a Chelsea away fixture sandwiched in between them. I don't mind at all. But he's got some really good fixtures, and on the other hand, Welbeck is injured. So are like Solly March is injured. There's so many injuries going on with Brighton. So I think Mitoma is obviously anyway nailed on in that team. But if Evan Ferguson starts more games, I think it'll make Mitoma even more dangerous because he has got that ability to hold the ball up. So I just wanted a Brighton player for these fixtures. Although he's not a differential by any means of imagination, say 37.2, but I don't think that many active players would have him. I think this is more with the dead teams. So I think around my rank, I think Mitoma would be less owned. Madison, obviously I would have loved to get Son, guys, and I know everybody's gonna say why not going with Heung-min Son, but I could not afford him. There was a dilemma in my wildcard, guys. The dilemma was either I could go with Son and Palmer. I had this option of going with Heung-min Son and Palmer of Chelsea, which is obviously not a bad option. If some of you want to go there, I think that is perfectly fine. And I got Palmer for 4.9 as well. I built some value on him too. And I still, if I go that route, I can easily get Maguire as well here. That is also a possibility which I considered. But the thing is, I just did not want to sacrifice. The thing is, it's a combination. It's Palmer plus Son or Mitoma plus Madison. That's the combination. I just prefer Mitoma versus Madison more. Although you don't need to have Spurs players really, because these fixtures are like not really good, because they've got Chelsea, they've got like even Aston Villa is a difficult fixture, Wolves away, Manchester City away, Newcastle home. These are very tough fixtures. So possibly I might move on James Madison, in case I need to. But for the short term, because of the ownership, of Spurs players being so high, it's hard to kind of just take both of them out at the same time. Although you don't need a Spurs player on your wildcard, let me tell you, So right now I'm with Madison and Mitoma. I've got Saka, and since I didn't bring him in last night because the FPL statistics were not showing that he's gonna rise, but he did. So I have to buy him for 8.6 million. That's fine. I mean, Jared Bowen I brought in early on my wildcard because I knew I was going to get him. Again, the reason to bring him in is the form and the fixtures. Everton, Nottingham Forest, Brentford, Burnley, Palace, Fulham, Wolves, all the good games, So I like these fixtures. Obviously, Watkins and Haaland, I don't think I need to explain. The only problem is, the problem here is I don't have money to like. The thing is, I don't have money to cover my defense. I needed some more money. I mean, I know I can get a 0.1 million out of Turner if I get a 3.9 million goalkeeper, but it would not get me to Harry Maguire. So either I need to downgrade this Archer to Mobama and then I can get Maguire, or I just have to go with somebody like a Taylor. That's the only option I have right now. So this is about my wildcard, guys, and I've made my peace with not having Son. Wasn't easy by any stretch of the imagination, but I have made my peace with that. So I've decided all day, all week. I've been thinking about this, and Son and Palmer, Mitoma and Madison. Because the thing is, yes, you can go with Palmer, but then you have to play him. You really want to play him in these fixtures, like Spurs away, City home, Newcastle away, United away. These are not fixtures you want to play him in. So it's a bit tough to decide this. But since I made up my mind, I'm just gonna stick with that. All right, guys. So I'm sorry this was a long talk about my wildcard, but I think it was important to describe what I feel, and why I chose a certain amount of players. Now I'll come back and answer your questions, obviously. So hey, Light Rays, Rafa and Reza, Fadzali, Navneet, Akun, Hey Jug, Abhijit. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the stream. So I'm fine. Thank you so much, Rafa. I mean, if I was you, I'd possibly play Udogie, because if he's fit, he plays. If he's not fit, I don't think he comes on from the bench, and you can put Burn or Lascelles first on the bench, right? So if Udogie plays, you're fine. If he doesn't play, then you automatically get these players from the bench. Maguire, I don't have money enough for Maguire. I wish I did, but I don't. Mitoma fixtures are too good to ignore. Yes, I'm not ignoring their fixtures. I'm going to go with Mitoma. Almiron is going to start. I think he will, because Isaac is injured. They've got some injury problems, Newcastle, to be honest with you, recently, so they lack a bit of firepower because of the injuries, Newcastle. But you asked me, Almiron is gonna start, so personally I think he should. Yeah, just give me a second. I'm gonna try. All right. Right, guys, let's get back to business. So Akun says Alvarez matters to Watkins, Mitoma matters NATO to Saka, Adingra. I like Alvarez and matters to Watkins and Mitoma. For the longer term, I think this is a good move. Obviously, I mean, Saka is. If you can do Watkins and Saka, I think that'll be the best. But obviously, I know you don't have the money for that. So out of these two, I possibly think Watkins and Mitoma. You went for Madison. I know the reason is FOMO. It's not about FOMO. It's about not having enough money for Son, covering Spurs, and there's not another midfielder which I really want. I don't have, like, I can go for somebody like Luis Diaz, but didn't really want to triple up or with Luis Diaz, because I personally I think there's owning Salah and Tsimikas from Liverpool is enough. Mitoma. Sorry. Yeah. Hey, Jugs. I hope you're doing well. For 4.4, you can get Regulon. I don't want Regulon, my friend. I wish somebody like Johnny Evans was playing. I would be more happy with getting a 4 million United player rather than Regulon. Mitoma or Fati? 100% Mitoma, my friend. If I have the option, I'd go with Mitoma. Hey, Cinema Crazy. I hope you're doing well. Is this the best game week for a wildcard? Initially, it depends on your team. But because there are so many fixture swings in game week 10. For example, Aston Villa, West Ham United, Crystal Palace, Liverpool, Arsenal, all of these teams have got good fixtures, and some teams like Spurs, Chelsea, Manchester City, they've got difficult fixtures. So I think, yes, this is a decent week to wildcard. I can say that. Nunez or Watkins? I would go with Watkins, my friend. Abhijit says I have 2 free transfers and I have no idea who to transfer. And Abhijit, if you have a question, like if you can tell me your team, then I can give you an idea of what you can do. Zofar tweeted that Otogi is fit and start. And if Zofar tweeted, then I think he would have got information from some reliable source. I think should be alright. What is the point of owning Odogi when he gets transferred at 55 minutes, though? He's just given me nothing but pain, this guy, Odogi. By the looks of it, our only difference here is Madison. Well, that's good, Fadzili. I hope it works out for you as well as for me, my friend. This is the... Obviously, guys, let's see. Let me show you. Like, if I had the money, if I had more money, I mean, I'd possibly go with something like this. This would be my wildcard team. If I had money, I would go with like Salah, Saka, Mitoma, Son, and Jared Bowen. So that would be obviously what I would pick. But since I don't have and I would pick like somebody like Gehi, for just for cover, and they've got good fixtures as well, Crystal Palace. But since I don't have the money, so I'm gonna go with Madison here. Otherwise, I think this is the kind of team which I would like to make, and which would make me really happy. Fazali says I'm kind of worried with how cheap the defense is, and that is true. That makes me worried as well. But the thing is, you can't have everything your own way. I am worried about it as well. I am. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't like my defense, but the problem is you can't have all the players you want, Fazali, without having to sacrifice. And because we didn't build team value and started off on the wrong foot with some of the players, for example, Gabriel initially started on the wrong foot with him, lost some team value there. I lost some team value with Joao Pedro on my bench, sitting from game week 1 to game week 9. So yes, I mean, I made peace with that I don't have the team value to go with the team that I really want. So 1 or 2 trade-offs, but you just have to decide which ones you want to go for, my friend. Udogi is my first bench and would make way for Simicast next week probably. Yes, Jugs, that would be nice. That would be nice. My best move was Trippier. Got him since the haul. Nice, Fadzali. I didn't have him. I died on the Trippier hill, my friend. He cost me like 40-50 points. That it was insane. I'm a bit stubborn sometimes with my decisions. Over the years, that has obviously favored me. This season, that has not. But I continue to play the way I want to play, and hope that there's still enough time for the recovery. That's all. And gonna stay positive since we're wildcarding. Just have to stay positive and hope for the best. CAV says bit late today, wildcard for me too. CAV, I think this is a pretty decent game week to wildcard. As I already discussed, there is a like, for example, a possibility because there's a fixture swing for Aston Villa, fixture swing for West Ham United, for Arsenal, for Liverpool, for Brighton, so many teams, and some of the good teams like Spurs, Newcastle, Chelsea, City, they're going out of they're going towards the difficult fixtures. So I think this is a decent time to wildcard, if you ask me. When I see Wiz last on the Wiz Community League, I know we don't have to panic just yet about the overall rank. Don't be too comfortable, my friend. Wizards have off days as well. But I'm just, gonna try my best. That's all I can do, my friend. This some decisions have not gone well for me, but I've made my peace with what has gone before, and I plan to make a comeback. Hey Wiz, thoughts on going rogue by Haaland to Alvarez and that fund Saka, Mitoma and Watkins? I mean, you can do that. The problem, see, I mean, if you think that I haven't thought about going without Haaland on my wildcard, you don't know how much I've thought about my wildcard. I've been thinking all week. The thing is, my friend, this fixture is so tough to ignore, you know. I mean, you go without Haaland against Manchester United away and you can get away with it, but the problem is, I mean, Bournemouth at home, and if Haaland starts this game and eats up Bournemouth with a hat-trick or, you know, like a 20-pointer, and with the amount of ownership he has, it'll just absolutely kill us, you know. And the thing is, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take out, you know, if I want, I can take out Haaland. For example, I know a couple of people who might want to do this. For example, they might not want to go with Haaland in this game week, but keep the funds for Haaland here, you know. So they go with Nketiah. I mean, for example, if I just, let me just put Taylor in here just for the sense of completion. So, you know, they'll start with Nketiah, and what they're going to do, they're going to just play Nketiah against Sheffield United. You know, now I've thought about all of this, you know, guys. I've been doing this all week. So, and then next week, just take out Nketiah, book a transfer, and bring in Haaland against Bournemouth. This is some people can do that, and some people can just play Haaland against United away and Bournemouth, and then take him out for these tough fixtures. You know, these 3 or 4 fixtures, take him out. You know, spend the cash elsewhere. That's the thing. Yeah. So Abhijit says Gab. Who is Gab? Gabriel. Poro, Cash, Salah, Son, Bowman, Diaby, Solanke, Alvarez, Haaland, and Burn in the bench with 1.1 in the bank. I want to bring in Saka, but I have a FOMO for Mitoma and Watkins. See, Abhijit, the thing is, I think Watkins is definitely a desirable player right now. The thing is, Watkins has got 3 good fixtures. Saka's got next week against Newcastle United after Sheffield. But I think if I had to prefer one, I'd possibly pick Watkins over Saka right now. So if you can, you should go with Watkins first and then Saka. You know, although what you can do is you can take out Alvarez and bring in somebody like Nketiah, and in the midfield you can bring in Mitoma. That way you'll get both covered for Arsenal as well as Brighton. You know, but that won't give you Watkins, obviously. Geeta says, hey Sam, please suggest defense under 4.4 million. Also, Alvarez good to keep. Looking City tough fixture. I think Alvarez is decent to keep, my friend. I think he's playing out of his skin right now. It's absolutely amazing. You know, if I had the option to or the money, I'd definitely keep Alvarez on my wild card. You know, so I don't think you need to transfer him out. Defense under 4.4 million. Under 4.4 million, there's not really many options there, my friend. I've explored the lot. Either you simply go for somebody like Harry Maguire, you know, that's an option, or you simply downgrade to somebody like you know, Lascelles or Taylor, because at 4.4 I don't think you're gonna get a very good defender. You know, it's just gonna be tough. But still, I'll have a look. Below 4.4. Again, I've done this. You know, I've gone all through all these. You know, all these Mikalenkos, Branthwaites, and you know, like Weltman. Yes, I mean you can go with Weltman, but yeah, there's one defender from Brighton. What's his name now? Zio. There's 4.3 million. That guy. I'm not gonna able to remember his name. He's a central defender from Brighton, and he's expected to start. Just a second, his name Igor. He's called Igor. So yeah, I mean he's a pretty good option, to be honest with you, and I've considered him as well. 4.3 million Igor, and he's gonna start a few games until, you know, they've got some fit defenders again. So in the Europa League, obviously Van Hecke started, but you know, I think he's gonna start a few games. So you can, and Brighton have got good fixtures, my friend. They got really good fixtures. So if you want, you can think about Igor. Obviously, Dunk is the best one, but we can't obviously afford him. All right. Todd says, I'm late to trying to save my wildcard. Todd, that's fine. I think if you can, you should. You know, you don't need to. I mean, I I just wanted to catch some fixture swings and was like 5-6 moves away from where I wanted to be. So that's the reason I kind of played my wildcard. But if you can save it, my friend, I think that's best. Salah was killing me. I have no issue going without Saka. Personally, we have 9-15 the same. Yeah, Salah's the one. I got killed by Salah and Trippier, my friend. Absolutely butchered my ranks. And George Lyle says, hey boys, is it worth wildcard if you already own Haaland, Salah, Son, Saka, Saliba, Cash and Tsimikas? I don't think so, no. I mean, if you can add Watkins to that mix, I'd say definitely you don't need to wildcard. Fadzali says, talk to me about Bowen. His fixture kind of good and bad and mix. I don't think there's bad fixtures in there for Bowen, my friend. Everton, Brentford, Nottingham, Burnley, Crystal Palace, I think they're all good fixtures. The next 5 is good. I don't look past 5 fixtures, my friend. The vendor says start Soboslai or Bruno. Man, this is such a difficult question, Devendra. The thing is, Bruno is obviously much more attacking than Soboslai is. India's on penalties, technically, but I would start Bruno Fernandes. I might be wrong, but you have to give a chance to a penalty taker and such an attacking player like Bruno. If you have him, you have to start him. Technically, I'd love to start both of them, but if I had option, I'd start Bruno Fernandes, even though he's against Manchester City. If you leave Haaland out, go with Darwin. Yeah, I know, my friend. I'm not leaving Haaland out. I want to go. I've thought about going with Darwin Núñez. I've thought that this gives me money enough. Like, I know what I can do with Haaland. On the stream, I don't want to kind of show you, because that'll mess up my mind, because I know what is the possibility here. You go with Darwin. You go with Son, and it just opens a world of possibilities, my friend. The world is yours. Look at this. I mean, this is absolute insanity. You can bring in anybody you want to, and like team looks just absolutely smashing. You can, for example, even here, for example, bring in Alvarez, bring in Darwin. I mean, it's just possibilities are just endless, my friend. Endless possibilities, It's just insanity. But since we're not gonna go that route, and I've already made peace with that, I'm just gonna stick with Haaland. And I'm gonna continue crying about the one defender which I'm not gonna be able to buy. But it is a hill I've decided to die on, so I'm gonna die there. Abhijit says, it is insane how much funds you get without Haaland. That is true. Nketiah scores a hat-trick. Jesus still out, then what do? They take him out for Haaland. When you have a plan, you stick with the plan. He doesn't play Sheffield United next. He plays Newcastle, and you bring in Haaland against Bournemouth. As simple as that. We shouldn't treat United like Prime United back then, as United fans play him. I know, that is true. But if you have Bruno Fernandes, you play him. Igor. Yeah, I remember that name. Hey, Viz, remember the deadline tonight? I'm wildcarding. Zara, don't worry about it. I'm right here to help you. If you have any questions, just hit me up, and I'll help you as best I can. Don't worry about it. We still have a half an hour, and I think it's enough. I've done a week full of research, and trust me, I'm nowhere close to my wildcard. So I don't feel like you've missed anything except a lot of panic and tension. Hey Sid, I hope you're fine. It's been a long time. Getting Son and Adingra instead of Matters and Mitoma. Team value really shattered. You can have them. We can't have them all, can you? We can't. And if you've made peace with that, my friend, I absolutely agree with what you think. I mean, see guys, Son plus Palmer, Son plus Adingra, that is, I mean, if you want, that's good enough. Simple as that. If you, it's about making peace with yourself, making peace with your team, and knowing that there's a trade-off in there. Trying to cover Trippier with Burn, so many good midfield options this year. True. I would not go with Trippier right now. And they've got some tough fixtures, honestly. Go for Wilson or Darwin. I would go with Darwin. Thanks for making the new emoji. You're welcome, Todd. And it was hard to fit those words and make them visible, so I had to make them like kind of in 2 tiers. I just hope you like it, Todd. I try to make it like 3-4 different ways, but this is the best I could come up with. And next week I'm going to try to improve it further if that works out, Todd. Yeah. Just a second. Yeah, he says So do you think Almiron starts? You missed out. No worries, my friend. I think Almiron starts, yes. I mean, even Murphy is having a bit of an injury. I mean, I don't see a way how Almiron does not start this game. Seriously, I don't. Hey Wiz, how are you? Your captain? My captain is Salah, my friend. Have you thought about downgrading Turner to fund a better defender? GW10, that is true, and I've thought about it a lot. The thing is, I mean, if I downgrade Turner, I don't have a 3.8 million keeper. I've got a 3.9 million keeper, but that doesn't give me much. That just 4.1 doesn't give you much either. That's the issue. Why couldn't they have a 3.8 million keeper? I would be so happy. Like, having Strakosha, that gives me 4.1, and that's just you know, still not good enough. You know, and that's the reason I didn't downgrade Turner. But if you guys have a plan for me, or if you can tell me what to do, which player to get, I'll be thankful. Because I've got the same options, Taylor, Branthwaite, but that'll give me Lascelles and Branthwaite, and one of these defenders stop playing, like Simicas and Gabriel. I'm absolutely done for, guys. Absolutely done for. Give the stream a like, says Light Rays. Thank you so much for the shout out, my friend. Starting 11: Ariola, Udogie, Dean, Saliba, Madison, Bruno, Odegaard, James Ward-Prowse, Watkins, Alvarez, Haaland, Turner, Soboslai, Walker, Anderson. Man, what are those bench players like Walker, Soboslai on the bench? Yeah, that's a nice team though. I have to give you that. Nice one, Devendra. Kept Diaby plus got cash. Could go Pau plus Bone. They're both fine. I mean, I'd obviously prefer Bowen over Diaby, but obviously I'd prefer cash over Pau Torres. You know, that's the trade-off. Don't sell Haaland. Most didn't want to start with Salah for the same reason. Look what happened. Remember Kane from last season. I'm not selling Haaland. I'm not selling Haaland, bro. Guys, I'm speaking here with you for 1 hour of a deadline stream. You don't know how many hours I've spent trying to figure out my wildcard. And, you know, I've made peace with not going with Son. I've made peace with going with Haaland. I've made peace with selling Alvarez. I've made peace with a lot of things. You know, you just have to go with the trade-off, guys. If you don't have a good team value, you have to kind of, you know, select a trade-off and pick which one suits your personality the best. I think I just want to go with this team. See, the thing is, what this gives me is it gives me 2 players from Aston Villa who've got good fixtures. I've got 2 players from West Ham United. Obviously, it's a keeper, so not really a player, but you know, I've got 2 from West Ham United. I've got 2 from Liverpool. I've got 2 from Arsenal. You know, and that is along with 1 from Brighton, 1 from Spurs, and 1 from City. I think that is good enough, to be honest with you. T. Hemming says, Son to Madison, Mitoma to Soucek, Palmer, Nato to fund cash for a defender. What? I don't understand your question, T. Hemming. Son to Madison, Mitoma to Soucek, Palmer. I don't think you should do that, to be honest with you. Just to fund cash for a defender, I don't think you should. I think that's too much chopping and changing, you know. Just get a cheap defender, my friend. Am I being very stupid, or does Johnston not rotate with Ariola better than Sanchez does? I see other creators say Sanchez is better. Well, what they do is they're not really kind of doing it the old-fashioned way like we used to. They just simply go here, fantasy football fix, guys, and they'll find. So basically, you want to find a goalkeeper to rotate with Ariola. So what you do is you lock West Ham and you find rotation from game week 10 to game week 17, and this will tell you that Wolves is the best rotation with West Ham United, right? See, it's easy. Everton, Sheffield, but we don't want Jose Sa, so what we do, we take out Wolves. exclude Wolves. Next is Brighton. We don't know who the playing goalkeeper for Brighton is because they're playing Verbruggen one week, Jason Steele the next week. So we go here, we take out Brighton. The next is Manchester United. We don't have money for Onana. We take him out. Simple. Then it's Crystal Palace. So here comes your Johnston. So according to Fantasy Football Fix, after Wolves, after Brighton and United, the next is Johnston. So you're right, my friend. You know, right. I would go with Johnston as compared to Chelsea, because Chelsea have got difficult fixtures, to be honest with you. Let's lock both of them. So according to Fantasy Football Fix, for the first 5 game weeks they're just playing Areola. So what's the point of getting Sanchez? Even I don't think Sanchez is even close, getting close to my team or anybody else's team for that matter. No matter what content creators say. I mean, myself being a content creator as well. All right, let's go forward. I hate, but I'm gonna do it 99%. Trippier, Udogie, Maddison, Alvarez. Trippier, Udogie, Maddison, Alvarez, Tsimikas, Gabriel, Saka, Watkins, knowing it will set up on the long term. Nehal, the thing is, you could do a -4 and keep one move for next week as well, if that is possible. If not, then that's fine. Or your team says, yeah, I'm on a wild card, T Hemming. I'm on a wild card. I don't need to take a. T Hemming, you're absolutely right. I have explored that option. I just don't. The thing is, I don't like playing Son and Palmer and playing Mitoma and Maddison. I prefer Mitoma and Maddison. The combination, I think, will give me more points as compared to Son plus Palmer. That's what I think, because Palmer's got very tough fixtures, right? Powers nailed. Cash is not that essential in my opinion. Well, the thing is, I have thought about Pau to raise. Yes, you are right. Yes, you're right, Nehal, but I mean, against Sheffield, it's tough. Udogie replacements, just play Udogie, Sarah. No replacements needed. Diaby and Alvarez out for Watkins and Mitoma. You can do that, yes. Would you trade Bruno and Archer for Watkins and Nakamba? Man. Todd, that doesn't seem like a very positive move to me. Yes, obviously I would love Watkins, but for a -8 and getting Nakamba in place, I just don't, it's just it's a tough one to kind of recommend, I would say. Yes, I would love Watkins this week, and obviously he has a very good fixture against Luton, but I mean, it's a tough one to recommend, Bruno and Archer for Watkins and Nakamba. They might give you good points this week, but for a -8, would Watkins give you that many points that he'll offset the -8? I am not sure. Not sure, bro. Although I'd love Watkins in your team, but for a -8, it's a bit hard to recommend, bro. Lars says, with 2 transfers, would you do Ward-Prowse plus Porro to Mitoma plus Gabriel or Tsimikas? Or Ward-Prowse plus Luis Diaz to Saka plus Palmer? Whoa. Man, such tough questions. Where are they coming from today? Ward-Prowse plus Porro to Mitoma plus Gabriel. I think Ward-Prowse plus Porro to Mitoma plus Gabriel or Tsimikas makes more sense to me than taking out Luis Diaz, who also has a good fixture list coming up. Technically. Good evening, Imran. I hope you're doing well, bro. You're welcome, Todd. I'm sorry I could not give you a conclusive answer, but it's a very, very difficult question, bro. Sorry. Luis Diaz replacements for 5.2 million. Go for Palmer. That's the best bet you can take at this moment in time. At 5.6, you could think about Douglas Luiz as well, but I'd say Palmer. Any news on Udogie? Well, from what I've heard on Twitter, they said Zofar tweeted that Udogie is going to start. He must have had some reliable source. Diaby or Bowen? I'll go with Bowen. Alvarez to Watkins or Mbumo to Diaby for a -4. For a -4. Man, Alvarez to Watkins. This is a tough question, to be honest with you, but I'd say Alvarez to Watkins. Captain Saka or Salah? I'd captain Salah, number 1. Number 2, Saka. Number 3, Haaland. Okay, one last one. Trippier, Madders, Alvarez. To Shimikas, Saka, Watkins. This makes more sense to me, I think, Nehal. This looks good, Nehal. I would do this. Pradeep, I already answered yes. I don't have any update on Sofal, but as per Twitter, I'm not the in the know or ITK, but from what I've heard, I've seen, you know, you can think about, you know, basically that Udogi is gonna start. If you have a bench cover for Udogi, then I think you should put Udogi in your team. Nehal says Zara Adingra for you. Yeah, Adingra is obviously a very good option. If you think he's going to start like all the games, definitely. Adingra is a good option. Palmer is also a decent option at that price bracket. I mean, if you can stretch your budget, I'd say, you know, from Newcastle, I think Gordon is also a fantastic option in the 5-point. Like under 6 bracket, I'd say Gordon. Douglas Luiz recently become an option because of being on penalties for Aston Villa. Palmer, Adingra, all these guys are options. You just have to decide which one you wanna go with. Guys, you have to give me a solution for my team. I just am stuck. I need a playing defender. I can't go with Lascelles and another 4 million. Like, the thing is, I know the obvious solution to this is to bring in Mubama and then, you know, replace him with Maguire. Just doesn't feel like a good solution. Maguire isn't even nailed on. I mean, you know, when, you know, Martinez comes back and when Lindelof, Varane, they all start playing, I don't want to take out Archer because he's a playing player, you know. He's a playing player at 4.5 million. You don't get too many of them. You know, Charlie Taylor, I mean, just doesn't feel inspiring, guys. Varane gonna come back soon. Maguire, I know, yep, that's exactly what I've been saying. But the thing is, I don't have any options, Anihal. Yesa says, any news on Saka's minutes? I'm leaning over him more than Salah because Nottingham Forest plays more defensive against top teams, as I've noticed. Sheffield concedes more from the left-hand side. Yesas, you've got a point there. I agree with you. But when you're comparing Salah with Saka, the problem is I'm not even sure if Saka's on penalties. I don't know what makes him like pick up the ball and give it to Odegaard at times. You know, maybe he's not confident. Maybe he's just I don't know what's wrong with Saka. You know, if he was nailed on penalties, I'd say go with Saka. But personally, you know, I'd recommend you to go with Salah. I'm telling you, like, that's my opinion. I'm not saying that, you know, Saka can't outscore Salah. But Salah's been in much better form than Saka. Saka's coming back from an injury as well, from a bit of a hamstring injury. Shaw out for the long term. Reguilon is 4.4 Devendra. I have got 0.1 in the bank, bro. I need a 4 million defender. Branthwaite. I know all of these options, Neil. Remember, I've considered all of them. Van Hecke, Branthwaite, Taylor. I've considered all of them. Obviously, you know, I've considered something like this as well. I've considered like Pau Torres, and I've considered Gehi. That'll give me a much better balance, if we can say that. But maybe I wanted cash for the attacking intent, you know. It's just, I don't know why I always want to go for fullbacks, but it's just kind of a thing. You know, this is also an option. I've considered everything, guys. All the permutations that are possible in this game, you know, like a computer. The problem with playing Branthwaite is Coleman is going to be back soon. You know, maybe they're going to change shape. I don't know what's going to happen there, to be honest with you, you know. If no Salah, is Haaland a good captain? Because Lisandro and Casemiro out for United. Casemiro is not really out. He's got a late fitness test. Lisandro is definitely out, but Lisandro is not going to stop Haaland anyway. Just caught up your in-depth answer with data to my goalie dilemma. Thank you. So you're always welcome, my friend. You know, even if we are running out of time, we always like to give detailed answers here. You know, that's what the stream has become. You know, it wasn't intended to be like this, but slowly and gradually we become much shorter, smaller community, but more warm, which is what I've come to enjoy more. Rather than running after subscribers, I just like to kind of speak with my community. I like that much more. So where were we? Achint, I think Haaland. If you got Saka, you can captain Saka as well. Azmir says, what would be your must-have for the week? I think Watkins, Saka, and Salah. Only thing I can't decide is Pau and Bowen or Diaby and Cash. Pau and Bowen makes more sense to me because if you've got Watkins, I think doubling up on their attack is not as important as getting Bowen, who's got good fixtures as well. Do you think Man U concede 3+ goals? Actually, it's hard to call City at the moment is the problem. I mean, it's hard to call how City are playing right now, you know. They've been losing some games. They've not been performing well. They barely beat Brighton, you know. And it's just, will Udogie start? Subhajit, from the news, it seems that Udogie is going to start, but I can't say anything for certain. My subconscious is stopping me from going Salah captain. Really confused between Saka and Watkins. Yes, if you don't want to captain Salah, don't captain Salah. Out of Saka, I think Saka and Watkins, they're both fantastic captaincy options. You know, it's just, I don't think you're going to go wrong with Saka or Watkins, bro. Achint says, I didn't get Salah on the wildcard. Should I sell Son and Madison for him and Gordon? Don't have Salah or Saka. Achint, I think you should. I mean, it's a very difficult. It's a very difficult answer for me because see, Son and Madison are not bad options, but as compared to Salah, they've got some difficult fixtures coming up, and Salah's got some easier fixtures. You know, so if you can, I mean, like Salah plus, you know, Gordon is not a bad option at all. I mean, you can do that later on. I mean, if Son and Madison score points, then you know, be patient and. Let Salah perform, you know. Sometimes it's just you can't have everybody. That's all I want to say. But I think Salah right now is very desirable player. Do have Watkins though. Watkins is a great option to have, but it doesn't cover somebody like Salah, does he? Should I replace Shearer on wildcard? Zara, I think you should. Yes, I think Newcastle defense. Right now is not desirable, you know, if you ask me. My captain is going to be Salah, my friend. I have 0 of the Wiz top 3. Right? Because you're not on a wild card, right? That's the reason. If I wasn't on a wild card, I wouldn't have had Watkins, I wouldn't have had Salah, and I wouldn't have had Saka. I'm leaning a bit towards Haaland, given the Manchester derby. It's not about Haaland. The issue is never Haaland. The issue is they don't have somebody to supply him, you know. Foden's not really playing well. Maybe I think they need to replace Doku, you know, and replace him with Grealish and play somebody a bit of a creator rather than a runner, and that'll help him. But right now, City are not creating that much. I tell you this much. You're welcome, Achint. I'm sorry I couldn't give you like a concrete answer, but I hope you helped you made your mind. Samaksh says Adingra plus Bowen versus Mitoma plus Gordon. Which one? Man, these questions are... I'd say Mitoma plus Gordon is better because I feel that both of them are nailed on. You know, with Bowen and Adingra, I'm not sure about Adingra is the issue. Otherwise, I'd love having Bowen, you know. Udogie for Gabriel long-term swap, I'd say yes because Spurs have got a difficult fixture run coming up. I would swap him for Gabriel, yes. Guys, so what is the final verdict for my own team? I've given you enough answers. Now I need to think about my own team because we've got 12 minutes remaining and I don't want to leave it late. I don't want the trumpets to go. So should I, like I've got Cash. Either it's Cash plus Taylor or it is Pau plus Gehi, you know. Vadhiya Aman, TikTok, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੁਣਾਓ. Go for a cheap defender. Yeah, I mean... That's the thinking right now, but the thing is one of them doesn't play. I'm absolutely done for is the issue. Cash plus Taylor easy. it's easy because it's not for your own team, man. It's not that easy. I was heartbroken with the draw last week. I thought we had the game, but I liked the way we played against the Gunners. Man, Chelsea absolutely hammered us. I'm not gonna lie there. Let me talk about Arsenal and Chelsea after the stream, like after the deadline. You know, it's absolutely horrible to watch. Start Udogi or Walker? I would start Udogi. Yesa says, done it. I gone for it. Saka captain. Going with my gut feeling. Just hoping Salah doesn't punish me bad. Cheers, Wiz. May the arrows be green. Yesas, if you own Salah and you're not captaining him, I don't think you're going to be having a problem. But if you don't own Salah, that is the issue. So even if you own Salah and don't captain him, I don't think you're going to go wrong with captaining Saka as well. Massive upside with the cash attacking threat. I know. Abhijit says you won't ever get from benefit from the Archer Wiz. I think go with Mobama and bring if I could go with Mobama and bring a 4.5 million, I would possibly do that, Abhijit. But the problem is, even Harry Maguire, who's 4.2 million, is not nailed on. As soon as Varane comes back, as soon as somebody else becomes available, Maguire drops as well. So the problem is downgrading one playing player for a non-playing player and bringing an uncertain player is the issue here. Thinking of getting rid of Shear, letting Udogi stay in my team, that allows me 5.4 for my mid. I think you should get rid of Udogi as well, Zara. I don't think you need a Spurs defender right now. You need I think you should go with somebody like Shimikas. You should go with an Aston Villa defender. Possibly if you can go for Lewis Dunk, I would recommend you to go with Lewis Dunk as well. I don't have the money to go with Dunk, but if I had, I would possibly do that. Any thoughts on Darwin? I think Darwin is a fantastic option if you feel that he starts a lot of games now. Remember that Gakpo is fit, Jota is fit, Diaz is fit. All of them are back fit again. So be careful with that. Otherwise, if you feel he starts all the games, then definitely I think he's a great option. Yes, he is. 4 million. God damn you, Taylor. Get out of my team, man. I don't want you in my team. Why do I have to go with... You know what I can do here? Can I? Or no? No, I can't. Or no, I can't. No. By the way, when Stones is back, yeah, that is true. Stones is back, but that doesn't make the City team any better. They need a creator. He mostly plays a holding midfielder if he doesn't play in the defense. Thoughts on Ansu Fati? By the way, Mitoma to Adingra might fix your problem. I know I'm not, but I'm not going to take Mitoma out. Adingra is nowhere close to the quality that Mitoma is, and doesn't have the ceiling as compared to Mitoma. One attacking return isn't the same as scoring 2 goals. Mitoma has that in him. The way he runs with the ball, I think he's fantastic, and I really want Mitoma over Adingra. Like, if I want to go with Adingra, I'd possibly just go with Palmer then, just Son and Palmer. Why not Son and Palmer? Like, if I get Adingra here, I can get Son in place of Maddison. It fixes everything. But I don't... With thoughts on Douglas Luiz? I think he's a fantastic option if you can go with him. He's on penalties for West Ham United, and he's even scoring goals from open play, so why not? Pick Maddison or Bowen? I would pick Bowen. I think Doku will shine. Love watching him play. Yeah, I think he will shine, but currently, I mean, if you go to YouTube and watch a video by this channel called Verif Football, there's a video which shows you that Doku's just got one trick in his book. Like, he always dribbles to one side. So if you watch that video, that will make you so much clear as to what Doku really wants to do and why he's not suitable for playing on the left hand side, but he's suitable for playing on the right hand side. He's played all his life on the right hand side. So if you see that video by Verif Football, it's such a beautiful video. My question was, what are your question? Højlund and Palmer or Martinelli and Archer? I would go with Martinelli and Archer, my friend, because Højlund, Rasmus, and I mean, they're both good options. The problem is none of them is a great option. I like Pau and Gehi with the budget for your team, says Lightrace. That is the confusion. Trumpets time, guys. Unless you tell me, you're gonna hear some trumpets now. I thank you for the good advice always, Wiz. I make sure to join your deadline stream, even if it's for a short time. I really feel better and less stressed with your advice. Bahut shukriya aapka. You're always welcome. Yes, I'm always glad to have you on our streams, my friend. And I hope you have a great game week. Really contemplating of not having Holland. Well, if you want to take Haaland out, take him out after the Bournemouth game. Imran says, yes, I know. Fadzali, Martinelli is injured, don't go for him. No, Martinelli is not injured. Martinelli is fine, my friend. What? FPL side is acting up? No way. Alright, quick, guys. No time to waste, guys. No time to waste. I can't get stuck up with that nonsense again, guys. It's as simple as that. What the hell is this acting up nonsense? Quick! Wizard is never late or early. Wizard always arrives on time. Bang. Like this, we make our transfers. Will Udogi start? I think he will. Bowen is the issue in your team. Maybe consider Diaby instead. It's not about the issue about Bowen, you know. You see how he keeps sticking around? You know, he keeps sticking along nicely. For the price he is, I think he's fantastic. And look at the fixtures. Everton, Nottingham, Palace, Burnley, Brentford. You know, in some of these game weeks, you would want Bowen. Because game week, for example, in game week 13, Manchester City and Liverpool play against each other. You know, Arsenal's got a tough fixture in game week 13. Not a tough, but against Brentford away is always difficult for Arsenal. You know, Watkins has got a tough fixture against Spurs in game week 13. What are you going to do in game week 13? You're going to need somebody like Bowen, you know, to give you some points against Burnley away. So that's why I'm like, I want to spread around the risk a lot. You know, I've got 2 players from each of these teams. I've got 2 from West Ham. I've got 2 from Aston Villa. I've got 2 from Arsenal. I've got 2 from Liverpool. I think this is the balance I really need in my team, my friend. I know that Diaby is a good player. I know, like, this massive amount of good players. I can't have them all. If I had the option, I'd play a 3-4-3 and I'd play Haaland, Watkins, and Alvarez. That's how much I think Alvarez is good. Quickly, last question: should I keep Jensen for 5.5 or any good replacement? He has been giving me points. He has been giving you points, but the fixtures are not good for Brentford. You know, so if you have the option, replace him. Your bench will probably cost you during Xmas. George, I know that you're right. Possibly will have to update it. You are right though. But oh shit! Why is Turner against Liverpool in my team? See, that's what happens when you're hurried. So the option is Pau Torres. Thank you, Gideon, for your update. I changed it. So the thing is, guys, like, the only thing which I can do is I can replace Pau Torres and I can bring in Gehi. And you know, Gehi is not even an attacking player, really. Is a centre back. That's what doesn't lend me to kind of go for Gehi. You know, that's the whole issue here. Cash is at least attacking. Yes, I can take out Archer. I can take out Archer for Mobama. I can take out Turner for Strakosha or whatever his name is. Right? I can get a 4.3 million. But even at 4.3 million, there is no really good option. I've searched them all. I've gone around the world searching for defenders. There is no a good defender for 4.3 million. I mean, if you want to consider Igor from, you know, Igor from this Brighton. Yes, he's a decent enough defender. Thomas from Sheffield United, but Baldock. Do you really want these kind of defenders in your team? I don't want them anywhere close to my team, man. Simple as that. Let me refresh my team first. You know what? I mean, there is an option. Obviously, there was an option for me to downgrade even Maddison, because Maddison is not like a must-have for me. You know, like right now. But the thing is, there's no, like, obviously I can go with Diaby. I can take out Maddison. You know, what I can do is I can take out Maddison. I can go with Diaby. I've thought of that option as well. That'll give me funds to go for a good defense. To go for a good defense. But the thing is, you know, for example, let me show you here. I've thought about this as well. I've thought long and hard. Go with Diaby. Gives you 1.3 million. Get any defender you want to. That is also a possibility, but that can also be done later. You know, it's not like like I need to do everything right now. You know, so I'm just kind of gonna stick with this team because there's last like 2 minutes remaining. I don't want a FPL service to mess up my goddamn team, so I'm gonna stick. At least you get bonus points for the defender clean sheets. No trumpets, bro. No trumpets. Who's my vice captain, by the way? Saka. Yeah, my vice captain is Saka. At least you get my, yeah, I do. No trumpets, guys. I've made my peace, guys. I've made my peace. 3.5 million rank. Nihal says I did the -8, man. You've been doing well, Nihal. I mean, you got a good rank. So I think a -8, it doesn't hurt you, as long as you've you kind of did your like, you know, you've already made your transfers, played your wild card, you've already done all the good stuff that was to be done, then you know, -8 wasn't the issue. I don't think it's a problem. Start a Dogi. Sets up the team long term. That is the vision, my friend. Good luck, everyone, says Gio, and good luck, Gio. I'm taking a risk, guys. I know. I don't care. I have to go for it. By the way, you know, there's something which I would like to tell you is good luck, says Zara. Good luck, Zara. I hope you do well with your wildcard. Decide to sell Mbumo for Diaby for -4, keeping Alvarez because Lotto Striker has great fixing game. Alright. Right, George. That's fine. I think Mbumo is good because Mbumo's got tough fixtures and Diaby's got some good fixtures to go. I like that move, actually. Nice one. Obviously, because Diaby isn't as good as Watkins. I have to say that, but that's not a bad move to make either. I like that. So guys, it's deadline. Oh man. So after all the research, after all the work that I've put into my wildcard, this is what I've come up with, guys. And let's hope for the best. I'm 3.5 million in rank. You know, they say that you know, when something I just need variance on my side, that's all, guys. I mean, you know, two players have punished me that bad in this game. One is Trippier, the other one is Salah. It's absolutely you know, it's just brought my rank crumbling down, Salah and Trippier. And it was a conscious decision to take, and I'm gonna stick with what I did. I captained Salah. I think it was a mistake, and Arsenal mid will outscore him. George, it doesn't matter as long as you own that Arsenal midfielder which you think is going to outscore him. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. Let us assume. All right, now the deadline is over. I'm gonna Zen. That is what I need, and I'm gonna flaunt my new emoji as well. Obviously, wisdom. Zen is all I need right now. I don't need the fire. I've already had the fire, so I need some Zen. Right. So guys, what you need is, like, for example, you people will think that Salah is 42% owned, right? Madison is 39% owned. Saka is 50% owned. Mitoma is 37% owned. And Jared Bowen is 21% owned. So you're gonna think that, oh man, like, what's Wiz gonna do with you know, like with this team? Like, where is he gonna go? Like, he's on 3.5 million ranks, so where am I gonna go with this team? And this team is not gonna propel me up the ranks, even if it does well, is gonna be your assumption, right? But what you need to understand is that it's a combination of players. Like, the player who owns Salah might not own Saka and Mitoma. You know, that's the points are always in combination. So now, to understand, like, how, like, which combination is owned by how many players, you know, like, obviously you can do that on many different websites like Live FPL and whatnot, you know. But for example, if you go to Live FPL, right now it's busy. It's not going to be able to show me. But it's, I hope you understand. I mean, if you go to Live FPL, they show you as to how much is the ownership of the total combination. And if the total ownership is like 10-15%, that's how you propel yourself up the ranks. It's about the combination, guys. It's never about an individual player. It's about, for example, Son. How many people own Son plus Palmer? And how many people own Mitoma plus Madison? That is the combination that makes the difference. Diaby and Alvarez out for Watkins and Mitoma. Salah captain locked. Now, Watkins is never going to leave my FPL team. All right, man. That's good. I mean, Watkins is a streaky player. Sometimes you want Watkins in your team. Sometimes you don't. You know, like, it's when he starts playing good, he plays good for the, you know, like, for some weeks, and after that he's just goes out of form. So he's a streaky player, is what I want to tell you about Watkins. Otherwise, I like him as a pick. That's true, but you're missing Son, Diaby, and you'll have to sell Matters to get him Boom in a couple of weeks. George, I don't care. It's about the next 2 weeks. The thing is, I have a plan. You know, I know what I'm gonna do for the next 5 weeks. I've got a piece of paper. I've written all the fixtures of all the players I'm owning, so I know exactly what I'm gonna do. For example, I know that game week 11 is gonna be fine for my team because I'm gonna captain Haaland. Game week 12 is gonna be fine for me because I'm gonna captain Salah. You know, game week 13 is gonna be a big problem for all the people here who don't who need to captain a player. Haaland and Salah are gonna play against each other. Saka is Brentford away. Watkins is Tottenham away. That's very difficult. That game week is gonna be very difficult, and that is what I needed a contingency plan for, kinda. That's why I wanted to go for I wanted to go Maguire, because at least I could bench one of my players who got a difficult game and play defender. But anyways, guys, I know I'm missing Son, but I know I can't have everybody. I mean, it's difficult to kind of fit Salah, Haaland, and Son in that team. So guys, what do you say we do predictions? I think today we've got a lot of discussion about the team. By the way, I hope Imran is still here. I needed to talk about the Chelsea versus Arsenal game. It was horrible to watch. Chelsea play that well and Arsenal not that well. If it wasn't for the mistake by Robert Sanchez, we would have never come back into that game, I tell you this much. Alright guys, so what do you say we get started? Let me have a drink of water. Crystal Palace versus Spurs. What do you think, guys? Let's have your predictions before I give you mine. We have to understand one thing about this game. Hopefully no deadline scares. Next game week will be away mostly. Don't worry, Zara. It's all fine. I mean, if you follow me on Twitter, I can, I'll post the updates there. So guys, in this game, Crystal Palace versus Spurs, what I would like for you to understand is that Crystal Palace is lacking attacking players. I mean, they're missing Eze. And even their strikers, I think one of their strikers is injured. So I think Odson Edward is injured, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, but the thing is, they're mostly defending. They're playing defensive football, Crystal Palace. Even at Selhurst Park, they play defensive. So what they're gonna do is they defend deep, which is why I don't expect them to give the space to somebody like Son to kind of dominate and counter-attack. Crystal Palace never gets counter-attacked most of the times, I mean, if they plan to turn crazy like Sheffield United went against Newcastle and tried to play a high line and, I don't know, passing out from the back against Newcastle. I don't know what they did that day, Sheffield. And otherwise, Crystal Palace is a much more compact team and try to defend deep. And if they defend deep, I think they're not going to concede too many goals. That's what I think. That's what I thought when I was planning for my wildcard, guys. So I personally think that this is not going to be a very high scoring game. I'm going with the 2-1 victory for Spurs. George says 2-1. Lightrace says 3-1. 2-1. So Lightrace is corrected as 2-1. Zara says 2-0 to Tottenham. Could be 1-1 to be fair. Yeah, that is quite possible. Nahal says 0-3 for Spurs. Nice. I mean, even 3-0 would be a very good score at Selhurst Park. Teams do not go there and win that easy, to be honest with you. I remember when Spurs used to go there when they owned Kane. It was always hard for Kane to score against Palace. Maybe 1 goal or 1 assist. That's all he used to get there at Selhurst Park. It's an old-fashioned pitch, difficult to play football there. I know. So let's move forward, guys. Chelsea versus Brentford. Guys, the way Chelsea played against Arsenal last week, I hate to say this, but it was a really good performance by Chelsea. And they shut down our midfield, the passing lines, and everything related to our creativity. I mean, Martin Odegaard did not have a good game at all. Saka was shut down by Cucurella. Martinelli had some joy down the against Malo Gusto, and but Overall, I think if Sanchez doesn't give that ball away and Declan Rice doesn't score that wonder goal, or just doesn't score that goal, I don't think we come back into the game at all. That's what I feel about that game. But Brentford are a resilient team. I hope that going to score against Chelsea. I go with the 2-1 win against for Chelsea. I'm going to go with the 2-1 win for Chelsea. Let's see what you say. George says 1-1, Zara says 1-1, and Light Ray says 2-1. Wow, that's going to be interesting if Chelsea draw 1-1 against Brentford. And Mauricio Pochettino is not under any kind of pressure, I feel, at Chelsea. I think they see the progress the team is making under him. Once Nkunku comes back, it's going to be a different team at all. But I'm just going to stick with my prediction. I'm going to go with the 2-1 win for Chelsea. I think Brentford's got some really tough fixtures coming up. Arsenal versus Sheffield United. I'm going to go with a simple 2-0 Arsenal win against Sheffield United. I'm not going with like 5-0, 6-0 or anything like that. I think they had a midweek game against Sevilla. It was a very, very difficult game. And Arsenal had a problem because like Gabriel Jesus was their best player on the night. He got injured. I think he got a hamstring injury, and George says 3-0 and Nehal says 2-1 as well for Chelsea. So Gabriel Jesus got injured. He's injured his hamstring, and Nketiah is primed to start the next 2 or 3 games until Jesus comes back. And Nketiah is fine, and just not as good as Jesus is. But the players would be tired with all the travelling. And after a difficult game against Chelsea, they went to Sevilla, Spain, and then back again. So I think it's going to be a 2-0 victory for Arsenal. Let's see what you have to say. 3-0 says George, but that's for the Chelsea game. Lighter says 3-0. Neil says 4-0. I see Arsenal lacking something, Nehal. I just feel that Arsenal are not playing as fluidly like they did last season. They're lacking some creativity, some creative spark. Maybe the midfield is not balanced properly because Jorginho does not offer what Partey does. Can't dribble out of tight spaces, can't cover a lot of ground too quickly. So I think we're lacking a little bit of creativity in the midfield. But I'm just going with stick with the 2-0. Lighter says 3, Nihal says 4. Guys, come on. We've got like 17 people watching. I need your predictions. It's no fun making predictions on my own when you don't join in and give me your predictions as well. Bournemouth versus Burnley. I don't know what to say about this game, except that I just hope that Solanke doesn't score because a lot of people actually own him, and a lot of people would have actually got him in on the wildcard because of the upcoming decent fixtures for Solanke. But I personally feel that Bournemouth is gonna win this game 2-1. Devendra says 4-4 draw. Which game are you talking about, man? Arsenal, Sheffield United? I just hope not. Although it's going to be good for FPL, it's not going to be good for my heartbeat. It's not going to be good for my team as well. But yeah, I'm going to go with the 2-1 win for Bournemouth. I'm going with a lot of 2-1s today. 2-1 for Spurs, 2-1 for Chelsea, 2-0 for Arsenal, 2-1 for Bournemouth. I just it's a safe score, I guess. So 2-1 says Nehal as well, and same as Light Rays. Ozan Ki Sumer says Messi or Ronaldo. Messi, my friend, always Messi. I was always in the camp of beautiful football. Always generally preferred Barcelona to Real Madrid as well. Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets. It's just beautiful football, tiki taka. All right, let's just move forward, guys. It's not the time or the place. Wolves versus Newcastle. You saw Ronaldo's last game. Ozan, I did not. I'm not watching the Al Ahly or the Saudi Arabian league. I just don't. I sometimes do watch the highlights on YouTube, but it's the coverage is not good enough here in India for those games, and I did not actually watch that, but I do watch the highlights. I'm not saying Ronaldo's a bad player. I like Ronaldo. I love Ronaldo as well. It's not either or. But if you ask me this kind of a black and white question, then yes, I prefer Messi to Ronaldo, but I feel Ronaldo is a fantastic player as well. So nothing against the legends, my friend. He says, I'm also from India, bro. Okay, man. I understand. 1-2 Newcastle, says George Lyle. Guys, see, to be honest with you, Wolves are a hit and miss team. Wolves beat Manchester City 2-1, and they've been generally playing good all season. Even in the first game against Manchester United, they absolutely took the game to United at Old Trafford. So I hope and I think that Wolves are going to score against Newcastle. And I'm going with your score. I think 2-1 is the score which I'm going to go with. So lots of 2-1s today, guys. Except Arsenal, in every game I said 2-1. Okay, hope for a green arrow for everyone. Absolutely, man. And hope you a green arrow. Wish you a green arrow as well. So West Ham versus Everton, guys. See this game. The game against Liverpool, watching Everton play against Liverpool, gave me a little bit of a hope for Everton. Everton played like resiliently, if not well, against Liverpool. I think they had some really good chances to score as well against Liverpool, and in general they gave Liverpool a good game. The score kind of doesn't tell you the whole story. Salah scored a late penalty. Until then it was just 1-0 and Everton were really going for it, and that performance gave us a bit of something for like a hope for Everton. Zara says 2-1 Newcastle. So I'm gonna go with West Ham United win. You guys, I don't want to say another 2-1. That's too many 2-1s for the day, right? Let's just go for some of the score because I wanna. My urge is to say 2-1 for West Ham United as well, but I'm just gonna go with the 3-1 for West Ham United, just because I don't want to say 2-1. Otherwise, the prediction is 2-1. But yeah, let's go with the 3-1 for West Ham United with the Jared Bowen hat-trick. I guess that would be really nice. Lighter says 3-2. George Lyle says 2-2. Don't see Everton scoring 2 goals, to be honest with you. They lack firepower. Even though Calvert-Lewin is back, but he's just not looking as sharp as he was before he got that horrible injury. He suffered from different injuries. It wasn't one injury, but it was different injuries. So United 3-1 City. That's the last game. We can come to that. Right. Aston Villa versus Luton. Guys, this is a 2-0 kind of game. This could be a 3-0 as well. I'll go with a 3-0 against no more 2s. Aston Villa 3-0 against Luton. Watkins to score 1 goal, assist 1. That's about it. Maybe Diaby scores the other. Douglas Luiz takes penalty. Leon Bailey comes on and scores. Who knows? But I'm going with a 3-0. I just hope Luton doesn't score, and I hope Matty Cash plays. Brighton versus Fulham. This is a 2-1, guys. George says 3-0 Villa. Lighter says 4-0 for Aston Villa. Nice. And for Brighton, I'm going with the 2-1 again. 2 goals for Brighton, 1 for Fulham. George says 3-2 for Brighton. So 1 goal difference, but he expects Brighton to score 3 and Fulham 2. I went for the 2-1 in this game as well. 2-1 seems like my favorite score for the day, guys. I don't know why I keep predicting the same score over and over again, but I'm gonna stick with the 2-1. And Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest is. I'm gonna go with a 1-0 to Liverpool, guys. Nottingham Forest is a tricky team. It's weird that they don't play well against a Luton, but they play better. They play better against the bigger teams. Either it's going to be a 1-0 or it's going to be a drubbing, kind of like a 4-1, 4-0 kind of scoreline. Either it's going to be a 1-0. I'm going to be happy with either scenario if Salah can score a goal. That's all I'm hoping for, guys. Zara says 3-1 to Liverpool. It's possible. It's hard to predict how Nottingham Forest are going to play. Some of the games they are really good. Some of the games they're just absolutely bang average. So let's go with the 2-0 to Liverpool, I guess. That's an average score, I guess. Brighton might be a draw, says Imran. Brighton has some serious issues to handle. Something has changed in Brighton. Imran, nothing has changed. It's just that they've just got lots of fixtures coming up because they are playing in the Europa League as well. They're playing in the Premier League as well, and Welbeck is injured. Evan Ferguson was injured for a very long time. Solly March, Adam Lallana. They've got a lot of injuries. Estupinan has been injured. Their defense has been injured. Veltman coming back from an injury. That's horrible. They had a horrid time with injuries, Brighton. That's the only thing has changed. Otherwise, Roberto De Zerbi is a fantastic manager. They've got some fantastic players in Ansu Fati and Mitoma. Evan Ferguson, even Adingra now in midfield. This is, I don't know how they scout their players, but it's absolutely brilliant. Last game, guys, the Manchester derby, United versus City. Two teams struggling for form a little bit, I have to say. Even though United won the last game against Sheffield, the performance was just abject, guys. I'm telling you this. It's just, yes, by the way, that was the day when everybody was mourning for Sir Bobby Charlton. Dillo scored a goal, McTominay scored a goal, but it wasn't anywhere close to a vintage performance, which Sir Bobby Charlton actually deserved, and may he rest in peace. Sir Bobby Charlton is a legend of the game and legend of English football, and I hope he does rest in peace, guys. 3-1. 1-2 City, maybe scoring draw, but City drop. George says 1-2 City, but may be a scoring draw because City drops point in patches. Also, they always tend to drop points in this is against Manchester United. For some reason, maybe the crowd is hostile, maybe the crowd is too up for it. I don't know what happens, but for some reason, even last season when they were like having this invincibility run, kinda, they lost to United. And I remember Garnacho giving the assist to Marcus Rashford for that winner. So yeah, I'm going with the 2-1 win for Manchester City. It could be a 2-2 as well. Actually, you know what? Let's go with the 2-2. Let's make the Premier League interesting. Let's go with the 2-2. George says 1-2 City. Yeah, 3-0 City, says Imran. I don't think it's going to be 3-0, to be honest with you. 3-1 possible. Haaland, Rodri, Doku, rest in peace, Sir Bobby Charlton. Right on, guys. Today's stream was as expected. It was a very busy stream, although I had all my answers prepared beforehand, but sometimes the questions, when somebody asks you whether you should go for Bowen plus Adingra or Bowen plus Adingra or Mitoma plus Palmer or something of that sort, it's just at that moment in time it becomes very difficult to answer these kind of questions. Easy win for United, says Fudzili. Well, I would love nothing more than a United win, Fudzili, especially for the league. I'd love for that to happen, bro, but I don't see that happening. United are not in good, if City are not in good form, United are in abject form right now, man. Telling you that. They saved a penalty late in the Champions League, Onana, and but they barely managed to beat teams that they're expected to beat. They're just not playing well. Who was it? For some reason I can't remember who United played in the Champions League, guys. I'm becoming forgetful. I'm sorry. I watched the game, guys. I watched Onana save the penalty. Copenhagen, yeah. It was a Danish team. City losing would give a lot of teams hope of winning the title. Absolutely, it would. I would love for City to lose, even though I don't own any of the United players, but I'd love if City lose that game. Imran says, thanks, Fizz. Loved the stream. God bless you, mates. Yeah, ciao and good night and stay blessed. Thank you so much, Imran, for being on the stream, man. Absolutely loved streaming as well. Cheers, light rays, and obviously may the arrows be green, my friend. Right, guys, I think we had a very healthy stream. I had a lot of fun streaming today for the wildcard, guys. I hope I'm languishing at 3.5 million. I hope this wildcard gives me a boost and we can actually come back. The first target, guys, we always take small steps. The first target is getting within the 1 million. Then we're gonna think about getting into the top 100k. I wanna fly. But before that, I want to learn how to jump. So the jump is to 1 million, guys. I hope we can get to 1 million and then we move on to the next target of top 100k. Until then, I hope all of you who have wildcarded or you made your transfers, I hope they're going to be successful and you're going to have a great game week, guys. And I hope you plan for the future. Have a great weekend and enjoy it. So FPL Wiz is signing out, and thank you so much for being with me for another deadline stream. And I will see you next week for next week's deadline stream. Till then, take care, guys, and may the arrows be green. Bye bye.